My name is JC Florendo, but my internet handle is JCSFlo. And this is Look Here. Look at this thing that I want to review and hear what I have to say about it. So look here at me while I review stuff. Spoiler warning. Blanket spoiler warning. I'll try my best not to spoil anything major, but as it is a review vlog, some spoilers might be made here and there. You have been warned. This review is sectioned into 4 parts. The skin, about the thing, the meat, the actual thing, the bones, the structure of the thing, and the cut, my rating. You can go and skip to the parts that you'd like to watch first. I really don't mind. On to the skin.
This is where I'll introduce the thing I'm reviewing, discuss its physical dimensions if there are any, talk about the creator or creators, mention any accolades or awards it received, and how much it retails.
So for today, I'll be reviewing what is probably my all-time favorite Filipino graphic novel, Ang Mundo ni Andong Agimat, a graphic novel by Arnold Arre. It is a graphic novel in Tagalog, drawn and written by Arnold Arre, an award-winning local comic book creator known for his other works such as The Mythology Class and After Eden, 2 other amazing books. But of all his creations, I like Andong Agimat the best. This is actually my second copy of the book. The first one I have lent to a friend and it never returned. This is also the second printing of this book. The first run was in 2006 by Tala Comics Publishing, and the second run is by Nautilus Comics, which is a fine publishing house of local comic books. You can't imagine how happy I was when I finally saw this again at the bookstore. It has been over a decade when my first book got lost. As for the look of the book, it is standard graphic novel sized, as you can see. It is 221 pages of black and white art and story, and written in Tagalog, as I've said before. It has an arresting red, black and white cover, as you can see, and the back of it just has this one sentence and panels from within the book instead of book blurbs. The story and art is by Arnold Arre, while the book layout design is by Cynthia Arre and Jamie Bautista of Nautilus Comics. This version has 2 forewords, one by Emil Flores back in 2006, and the second one by Jamie Bautista back in 2017. I forgot how much it retails, but I think it's around the 500 peso mark. On to the meat.
The meat is the section where I sink my teeth into the story itself.
In Arnold Arre's blog, that you can find online, this is what's written about the book. And I quote, Ang Mundo ni Andong Agimat, or the world of Andong Agimat, is inhabited by superheroes steeped in mythology and sharpened by the dirty gray tabloid world. Superheroes that are different and yet familiar, new and yet remembered. A cult leader, June Ereteo, has captured the forest deity Maria Makiling and is using her blood to transform his followers into a ravaging group of superhuman thugs out to kill innocent people and destroy the city. Armed with the magic talisman, Andong Agimat, along with a group of equally powerful friends, must confront June Ereteo and his minions and rescue the goddess before time runs out. So to start with, Arnold Arre, as a writer, has always been interested in telling specifically Pinoy stories. His other books are always set in the country populated with specifically Pinoy characters, even when it is written in English. He has also tackled melding Filipino mythology with the current stories set in the mundane, as in the mythology class. But here in Andong Agimat, he takes it a step further. To explain, I'll read the intro in the comics on page 1. Here, as you can see. So it says, Sa maniwala ka't sa hindi, sabi ni Lolo, may panahon sa ating daigdig na naghari ang pinakamalakas at pinakamakapangyarihang mga nilalang sa balat ng lupa. Ang ilan sa kanila ay naging tagapagtaguyod ng katarungan, tagapagtanggol ng mga naaapi. Ang iba naman ay naging mga alagad ng kadiliman, na parito upang maghasik ng lagim at salot sa sangkatauhan. At mula sa daang taong pagtatagisan ng dalawa, ay ipinanganak ang makukulay na kwento ng kagitingan at katapangan na humugis sa kanilang mundo. Ito ay isang mundong nababalot sa hiwaga at kababalaghan. Ito ang mundo ni Andong Agimat. So there, side by side is a drawing of a traffic jam during a rainy day that could be any day in modern day Manila. A different kind of Manila, same but slightly off kilter. In this Manila, superheroes abound, but not of the American sense. Specifically Pinoy superheroes, the likes of old FPJ fantastical Pinoy action movies that Arnold Arre grew up with. To find the closest approximation to American superheroes, I would say they are most like, well, kinda like the X-Men. People that are set apart from the normal ones by the possession of a kind of power or skill. But unlike in X-Men, Arnold Arre's superheroes have powers and skills that are rooted in magic or just straight up magic. So you have sila mangkeros, mambabarangs, manghuhulas, faith healers, alongside people who can actually breathe fire, run real fast, possess great strength, or is an owner of a magical artifact called an Agimat that makes him invulnerable to weapons, mainly bullets. The story itself is a version of the myth of Maria Makiling set in a neo-noir story and aesthetic with lots of Pinoy action movie vibes. I mean, the names alone. Andong Agimat, Boy Bato, Pedrong Pangil, Jun Pogi, Tonyong Baga. And another hallmark of Arnold Arre's work, this story has a lot of strong female characters. And they each possess different skills. Not all of them are damsels in distress or the typical superhero woman. They don't feel at all like tokens. They are very much as important to the story as the men are. This is a hallmark of Arnold Arre's work that I like very much. It has to be said that this book is for mature readers. It is gritty and violent and sometimes can also be very gory. There is an instance of almost sexual violence, but the book does not glamorize nor revel in it. The instances of intimacy is also hardly exploitative. Nevertheless, trigger warning to those people who do not like to read those things in their comics. On to the bones!
In the bones section, I talk about the structures that's holding up the narrative. Mostly the art because I like art.
So I must confess that I've been a fan of Arnold Arre since I got introduced to him around 2003-2004. He is a spectacular illustrator. He is able to draw stylized characters in realistic settings. A fine line to thread. If you need another example of those kinds of illustrations, think Hergé's Tintin comics. Here in Andong Agimat, he has somehow made his stylized characters more realistic but also more stylized. I don't really know how to explain it. Like I said before, this novel has a neo-noir story as well as aesthetic. The choice of keeping it black and white shows off to great effect the skills of Arre as an illustrator. Andong Agimat's Manila is a gritty, dirty place full of shadows and casual violence. Through it walks Andong Agimat, a hard-boiled anti-hero if there ever was one. Even in daylight, his face is drawn as if in a shadow, his eyes never showing. But it somehow works. His panel work is also interesting as he uses uneven lines and splash pages for the many excellent action scenes in this book. I cannot stress enough how good an illustrator Arnold Arre is, and his storytelling is not far behind. I've read this book a bunch of times, and every time I had to remind myself to just slow down because I always get caught up in the fast, unrelenting pace of the story. This is not the usual reworking of a Filipino mythology as well. It has a unique spin in it that will draw you in. This is as much the story of Andong Agimat as it is the story of Maria Makiling. On to the cut!
This is the part of the blog where I give my final thoughts and rating.
So I don't really like giving ratings, but for this book, I give it a 20 out of 10. That's how much I like this book. Please go out and buy this. It is worth every cent of your money. This graphic novel is so cinematic that I can actually see it as a movie. This is a standalone story, but it has so many possible new plot lines just used as throwaway dialogue that I wish there was more of it. But in and of itself, it works as well as a standalone. Again, worth every cent. Go buy it. Support local, support amazing talents like Arnold Arre. So, thank you for watching up to this point. I'm assuming that you are. Follow me at JCSFlow, that's the letters JCSFLO, on Instagram and on Tumblr if anyone's still tumbling. And I have also made a Facebook page, so you can also follow me there as JCSFlow. I mostly post my art there and some pictures of food and my dog Chewy. I'm part of an art collective called Team Olats, and we are at Ang Team Olats on Facebook and at Team Olats on Instagram. Follow those accounts to see where we would be selling our merchandise, like stickers, art prints, posters, etc. Finally, if you like this video or have some comments and suggestions, just tell me about it below. If you didn't, just don't. No need to tell me about it, you can just stop watching, simple as that. And so, that has been Ang Mundo ni Andong Agimat, a novel by Arnold Arre, and it has been me, JC. See you next time!